everybody, it is the Lawn Gnome, and welcome to your first Funko Pop update of 2019, and it's gonna be a fun one, and it's gonna be a big one, because London Toy Fair has happened, so that means there's tons of great news to talk about, with all the great new lines and the additional waves coming out from some of your favorite Funko lines. But of course, as always, we gotta talk about my collection first, and I've already started the ball off right on 2019 by making my wallet cry and pre-order a whole bunch of pops that I'm so excited to own. Some of them have already showed up, some of them might actually be featured in today's video, because I got a nice little theme going as always, and I am really excited to showcase it to you. So before we get into all the news, just get yourself a snack, get yourself a beverage, and get into your comfy chair because we're going to be here for a while. Let's start off with looking at how my collection has been going. So the theme for my first collection update is vintage animation, and we're going to start off with the wonderful world of Disney, and let me tell you, the bird is the word. I've got two Disney birds, one of my favorite Disney villains of all time, and one that I never thought that would actually be added to my collection. There's a great story to go with this. It's even been featured in a previous video. So first, let's zoom in on one of the greatest Disney villains of all time, and that, of course, is Iago. I loved Iago when I first saw Aladdin back in 1992, and I was wondering what he was going to look like when he became a pop, and boy did they do an excellent job. First of all, I love the look of the mouth. They did such a great job with his beak. I also love that he's flaunting his feathers like he's really got something to say or something to rant and rave about, but then again, the eyebrows would have been angry if he was an angry little bird at this point in time. But all around, they did such a great job on the colors, and everything about him is absolutely wonderful. I love this pop so much, and I am so glad that I have Iago in my collection. And the next pop is Zazu from The Lion King, and I never would have anticipated owning this specific pop, especially because of the fact that I'm not really a big fan of Zazu. But his mentality of the sooner we get to the water hole, the sooner we can leave, is something that I bring to work every single day, because I come to the office early, and because I come in so early, I get to leave early. And Zazu is someone that has played a significant role in that mentality, and this, I will not lie, is a beautiful pop. They did such an amazing job on the paint. I love the contrast of blue in all of his feathers. I love the bright yellow and orange in his beak. I love his expression with his eyes and even the eyebrows. They're absolutely wonderful. Although I think they did a little bit of a mistake on the top of his head. I think this is supposed to be glued on a little bit further, but they didn't seem to do that correctly. But either way, they didn't do a bad job all around. I thought that they did a very good job designing both of these pops. I really am happy about them. It's funny how I am suddenly realizing that I like birds in the world of Disney, because there's apparently another Disney bird that is coming out very soon, who will actually be featured later on in this video. Will I be getting him? Right now, my eyes and my heart are pointing to yes, but my mind is still not entirely sure, but we will see what happens when we get some better glam shots. But for now, I've got these two, and I absolutely love them. So now let's take a look at some truly legendary cartoon characters. So I am on a mission, guys, and that mission is to preserve the known well-being of famous classic cartoon characters. Animation has changed a great deal because it has been around for almost a century now, but it is important to know where we have been in order to understand where we're going. And thank God for people like Brian Mariotti, we have the ability to preserve some of those iconic cartoon characters for future generations to maybe not necessarily watch, but at least know about. And Funko in the past couple of months has given us two of those specific characters, and they happen to be two that I know quite well. The first one, first of all, is very important to me because this is the very first chase that I ever purchased. Now, I didn't search for it. I went on eBay because I had to get this, and it is the chase of one of my all-time favorite cartoon characters, and that is Woody Woodpecker. If you have never seen a Woody Woodpecker cartoon, I am almost certain that you can find them on YouTube. He is outrageous and hilarious, one of the greatest, wackiest cartoon characters ever. He wasn't a Looney Tune, he was actually a Walter Lantz Universal cartoon, and his group, including Chilly Willy, Andy Panda, Inspector Willoughby, these are all some of the most iconic next to Disney and Warner Brothers. And I love the details on him because I would have gotten the regular one, but when I saw what the chase was, I said, I have to get the chase, because Woody Woodpecker was known for hitting people over the head with mallets, blowing them up with dynamite, so I had to get the chase because he's holding the mallet. But everything about this pop is wonderful. First of all, I love the bright red and blue. I love the smiling expression on his face all the way around. Even the two tail feathers, fantastic. The little tuft on his neck is great. And I love the effect work on the mallet with the little swirls to make it look like it's really, really wood. And I also love the fact that the beak is very shiny compared to the rest of this pop's body. So I am so happy that I have a Woody Woodpecker because I love him, and I really need to get my hands on some of those old cartoons because it's been a while since I've watched him. The next character, while he wasn't animated right when he was incepted, he was around before Mickey Mouse, and this is the great Felix the Cat. I've watched a few episodes of the cartoon. I didn't watch The Outrageous Adventures of Felix the Cat, which was an animated series that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, but this was a Funko limited edition specific because I love the song, and the lyrics are, Felix the Cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat, whenever he gets in a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. So, the Funko Pop exclusive from the Funko shop has Felix holding his bag of tricks, and this is the exact color, which I love as well, but I love how they gave him the big white eyes with the little black pupils, and I also love that they gave him that legendary Felix the Cat smile. It is hard to believe that he is actually older than Mickey Mouse. We are celebrating his centennial this year, and that is wonderful. And I love the fact that these two have been immortalized in pop form thanks to Funko, because kids these days probably have no idea who these two guys are. But you should. That's why I got them, and that's why I'm featuring them on my channel. And that is going to lead us to the final group of pops, which I'm all the more excited to feature because they are pops that are featuring the greatest cartoon, in my opinion, of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the first family of the future, and in my opinion, the greatest animated TV family of all time, Hanna-Barbera's creation, The Jetsons. I have always been the biggest Jetsons fan, and when I found out about how popular Hanna-Barbera was to the current CEO of Funko, Brian Mariotti, especially him being the massive Huckleberry Hound fan, I was wondering when there were going to be Jetsons Pops, and believe me, when I started collecting in 2013, you better believe that I was extremely patient. Sure, I may have been yelling about the fact that they were still not here, but I kept my composure. I even went and got myself the limited edition George Jetson in his car, Dorbs, which is limited to 5,000 pieces, and I'm still proud that I have this in my collection. But last year, when they announced that there were going to be Jetsons Pops, and there were only going to be 3, I was still happy, but at the same time I had a feeling that the ones that I wanted would not be too far behind. They're all here now, the entire family, and of course, Mr. Spacely. So we'll get into all of them. I mean, we've already gone over Rosie, George, and Astro, but I just love seeing this whole family together. It is a perfect portrait here, and I have to say that I believe that Jane is the greatest pop I've ever seen in terms of the animation. I just love the detail of her pose. I love the look on the sculpt of the hair because they got it right. Also the way the dress is bouncing with the colors, absolutely wonderful. And the same can go for the entirety of this family, even Mr. Spacely, but specifically on Jane and Judy. I love the fact that they gave them these beautiful mouths. I love the lipstick and the nice smile. They did just a fabulous job, and they look like they just came right out of the cartoon. Everything on these pops is accurate. I mean, granted, would it have been cool to have seen Astro standing up? Would it have been cool to have seen maybe the face of George being a little bit skinnier? Even though I am still a very big fan of this George Jetson pop, especially because they got the little hair in the back perfectly. That's a great knowledge of the Jetsons. And Elroy, I mean, I think maybe his smile is a little bit weird because it doesn't really look like him, even if he had just the little smile like George, that would have been just fine, but they did a great job with him too, especially the hat, which I was wondering how they were going to do the big rod with the two little rings around it. And of course, Rosie is probably one of the other best looking. But I just love seeing them all side by side, all together. They're wonderful. But of course, we got to talk about Mr. Spacely. Now, Mr. Spacely is that boss you wish that you never had, because he is just so cruel to George. I mean, when I saw what he was going to look like, of course the first thing that came into my mind was this. And knowing that he was going to be a Funko Shop exclusive, I was so nervous that I wasn't going to get him, but apparently he didn't sell as rapidly as some of the others in the past. And I'm quite surprised about that, because people that I know who are Jetsons fans adore Mr. Spacely, and he looks just like he came out of the cartoon, especially with his facial expression and the mouth. Again, the mouths really make these pops, but he's small and stocky, and I love the little hairs on the top of his head as well as the hair in the back. They just did a phenomenal job with each and every one of these pops, and having this complete set, I truthfully do not think there are going to be any more. I mean, if they made a Mr. Orbit or a Max or even an Orbity or maybe even some characters from a movie, I don't know if I would really want to get my hands on them. But I will say, if they decided to maybe make George in his car, I would seriously consider it. If they made a TV moment of George on the dog walker yelling, "Help, Jane, stop this crazy thing," you know that I would get my hands on it. That would be just as eager for me to get it like the Hulk smashing Loki from the Marvel Avengers line. But these are wonderful. These are great characters. If you haven't seen an episode of the Jetsons before, you have to. You can get the DVDs for a very good price, and the movie is extremely cheap too. You don't even have to have watched the Jetsons on television to appreciate the film. And next year, it's going to be celebrating its 30th anniversary, which is pretty crazy. So you know I'm going to be praising it and reviewing it, because it's one of my personal favorite animated films. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking a look at my collection. I am so proud of each and every one of these pops. So how about we get into some of that news? So we've got a lot to talk about today, guys, because I have to cover a couple of weeks, because don't forget I was on my hiatus in January. So we're going to start off with some of the more recent specialty series pops and pop items that have been featured recently. And of course, in case you don't know what the specialty series is, it is where you can go to your local comic book and hobby shop to find exclusive pops that are only sold there, a great way for your local businesses and small businesses. So we got the 40th anniversary of Alien Xenomorph and a Aquaman Funkos, which is the cereal. Again, not the biggest fan, but it does include a little pocket Aquaman pop. So those are your two specialty series items for the last 2 months. And the Funko shop has been pretty busy. There's a whole bunch of things, from their Spastic Plastics to the ad icon Buzz, who is the Honey Nut Cheerios bee, and even Colonel Sanders. But we have an interesting one. I didn't know if it was real or fake, but apparently it is real, and it is the egg, and that is based on someone posting on social media, "Let's get this egg more likes than Kylie Jenner," and apparently it did beat Kylie Jenner, which is pretty funny. So these are all officially going to be specials from the Funko shop. And we've even got more Funkos, and once again, not going to go into any more details, but it is all Rick and Morty, and you can get them from various places like GameStop, FYE, and Hot Topic. And you can get Morty, Rick, Mr. Meeseeks, and Snowball. And we've also got a whole bunch of t-shirts, some really good ones as a matter of fact, and I think the one that I believe everybody is the most excited for is the fact that Chuck Norris is not only on a Funko Pop t-shirt, but this box from Target also comes with an exclusive Chuck Norris pop. Isn't it awesome that Funko is now Chuck Norris? And there's also going to be an amazing Disney theme park exclusive at the end of January. It was officially announced that they were going to do the Mad Tea Party, which is Alice on the teacup ride. So that is also pretty darn awesome. And we've also got a couple of specials from the boxes. We've got the Smuggler's Bounty, which the last one was Jabba's skiff, and it features Lando in his costume as well as one of the guards. I don't know what the name of the guard is, but I do know who he is, and I do know where he is featured in the movie Return of the Jedi, but it is pretty cool that we do have Lando Calrissian in that armor. And if you haven't gotten him yet, you are able to get Lord Drakon, which is a true fandom for the Power Rangers fans out there, and this is a PX Previews exclusive. I don't really know the details behind this, but I know a couple of people that can definitely tell me. He is now officially available, so if you do want him to complete your Power Rangers collection, now is the time to get him. Hot Topic is also very busy with a whole bunch of specials that are coming out, including 2 more members of the Drag Queens line, which of course are all those that are participated in RuPaul's Drag Race. That is Jinx Monsoon and Katya. There's also going to be a special flocked Karuma, as well as a Diamond Edition of Harley Quinn Valentine's Day Edition, and a Stitch Valentine, which is absolutely adorable. But probably the one that is the most interesting is the Batman in the Green Lantern outfit. That is pretty cool. I'm not going to get it, but of course this is celebrating the 80th anniversary of Batman. These will all be available at Hot Topic. And if you have the chance, you can also get Ana, which is the new edition of Overwatch, and you can find her at Blizzard.com. There's also going to be an expansion to Fallout with the Fallout 76 line. There are definitely some interesting ones here, as well as a couple of exclusives. I really appreciate the details on each and every one of these. It is pretty cool to see that the games, once again, are really exploding. So many people are excited about these video game characters, and please put down in the box if you actually play Fallout. I've never actually played it. I'd like to know a little bit more about it. Also in the world of video games, mixing in with a little bit of Disney, we've got some exclusives. We've got Sora from Monsters, Inc., of course, from Kingdom Hearts 3. You can get him as a box lunch exclusive where he is flocked, or you could also get an orange version of him at Target. And GameStop is going to be doing a little bit as well, giving us more Mickeys, and you're going to get a brand new version of Gamer Mickey where he is sitting down playing a video game, or you can even get Gamer Mini. But we've also got some amazing oversized pops, one that is available at Amazon and one that's available at Target, and they are 2 10-inch supersized pops of Giant Man from Ant-Man and the Wasp. The details look fantastic, and Jack Jack. I think he would probably be as tall as the actual Jack Jack from the movie would be. I love the fact that they're making him. It is really, really cool. I would love to know if you ever actually get your hands on either of these so I could see what they look like up close and out of their boxes. And now let's go take a look at some interesting stuff in music. We have Britney Spears, not included in a t-shirt box. This is actually Britney Spears from her performance on the MTV Music Video Awards. I'm a Slave for You. Of course, she is holding the big snake. And we've got the rebel himself, Billy Idol. I love the way that this pop looks, especially with the mouth, because that is his signature look. I'm sure there are going to be so many people that want to get their hands on this Billy Idol and Britney Spears. Really nice to actually see as well that the Rocks set has already gone past 100, and of course that was Rick James, but there are more on the way. Now here's a series that I'm not really happy about the fact that they're doing, because I really have no interest in this, and that is the Pop Candy line. They're basically making pop versions of some of the most tasty treats out there. I mean, I know they did the whole thing with the Hostess icons, but these are not ad icons. These are candies, and you can get Sour Patch Kids, or you can get Peeps, and one of the Peeps is going to be an FYE exclusive, and the other one is going to be a Funko Shop exclusive. Not interested in these in the slightest, not even sure as to where this line is even going to go, but I do know there has to be someone out there that wants these tasty treats as pops. Just don't eat them. Let's take a look at a little bit of sports. We've got from the Fanatics another exclusive of LeBron James in his Lakers uniform. This is the purple Lakers uniform with a new pose as well. It is, of course, nice to always see this iconic basketball player getting enshrined in Funko Pop form. But if we're going to go into the world of sports, they definitely outdid themselves this time around. Because first we're going to take a look at the Great One. We already knew that he was going to be a Canada exclusive with the Stanley Cup, but for the United States, we will be getting Wayne Gretzky in his Los Angeles Kings uniform, but the one thing I'm not too thrilled about is the Fanatics 4-pack, which includes him on all of the 4 teams that he was on in his own career. So you've got him in a white Oilers jersey, him in a white Kings jersey, him in a St. Louis Blues jersey, and of course him in his Rangers jersey. I would have loved to have had Wayne Gretzky as a member of my collection in his Rangers jersey, but I really don't want to go and get the box because I just don't want all 4 of them, but you can get it from Fanatics if you want it. I have a friend who's a fellow pop collector who is a huge St. Louis Blues fan, would love to just have him in the Blues jersey, but not the 4-pack, but still happy that they're making these nonetheless. But oh boy. Now, growing up as a Knicks fan in the 90s, I hated the Bulls. And I sometimes wanted to yell at the TV at the top of my lungs because I still couldn't get over how envious I was that Michael Jordan was not on my team, rather he was on the Chicago Bulls. But Air Jordan is becoming a pop, and it is wonderful that he is. It's about time, too. So you can get the common, which is him in his Air Jordan pose, which I'm actually going to be adding to my collection. So excited about that. But you can also get a Fanatics version of him in his black Chicago Bulls jersey, as well as him in his rookie Chicago Bulls jersey. Surprised they didn't give him hair in this one, but you can get that one at Target. Are there going to be more of him? I would like to actually see a Toon Squad exclusive of him from Space Jam. That would be a real nod to the fans, but I'm really excited that I'm going to be getting this Michael Jordan pop, adding him to my collection. You really cannot be a true sports fan and not admire this guy. And there's also going to be a new series of pops, the Icon line, not the Ad Icon line, where it's going to be many famous faces that are featured in popular culture. And the first 2 that they've announced are Dr. Seuss and Colonel Sanders. And Colonel Sanders, of course, he's a real guy. He invented the KFC recipe and the chain restaurant, so of course he's got to be a pop. And I love the fact that the Dr. Seuss is holding a copy of The Cat in the Hat. I know for a solid fact that there are more in the works, and one of them apparently is Jim Henson. Now, if it happens to be Jim Henson holding a Kermit the Frog on his shoulder, I would totally get my hands on that. So let's see what happens when he does come out. But either way, if you want to get Dr. Seuss or Colonel Sanders, you can, because they are commons. And now we have 2 very interesting ones. They're really trying to reach out to the Hispanic popular culture out there, and they're giving us 2 pops of 2 famous sitcom or variety show stars from Mexico from way back in the 1970s and 80s, I believe. There's El Chavo and El Chaplin, Colorado. I don't know anything about them. Maybe some of my friends out there who have Latino roots can let me know who they are, but they are coming, and you will be able to get them because I believe they are also commons. And there's also another interesting series called Club de Cuervos. I don't know what this show is. All I know is that these characters are going to become pops. They are interesting looking. I don't know much about this show, so please let me know what it's about. Either way, they are coming out, and you will be able to get them if you want them. But here's a series that I wasn't sure was ever actually come out. It wasn't even in the back of my mind, but it is the Modern Family line. And you can get all the adults, not the kids just yet. And apparently Sarah Hyland actually wrote on her Twitter feed how she was so upset. She plays Haley on the show. She really wants to know why they didn't make the kids. But they have a decent amount of the cast, including a double pack of Mitch and Cam, who I definitely want to add to my collection because I love these guys. They are the most hilarious people on the show, and the fact they are actually coming out in a double pack from Target is definitely something that I'm going to want to try and get my hands on. But it also is really nice to see Ed O'Neill back again. I love how he is holding his little dog on the show, Stella, and don't forget there is also going to be a chase of Gloria. And we definitely saw the Dragon Ball world explode now because we've got some amazing waves coming. We've got a whole bunch of exclusives, including a Goku from Dragon Ball on a flying Nimbus, a flocked Beerus, a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which I really want to get my hands on. I have no idea if I will, but I'm going to keep trying. But there is going to be a regular wave coming as well. And I've already pre-ordered 2 of these, and that, of course, is Android 17 and 18, which I said if they ever did make them, I would get them. But the thing I love the most about those 2 specific ones is the poses that they're showing, is the pose that they are in when they are first making their appearance on the show, and that is awesome. You can also get Yamcha and Puar, Fidel, Goku in his outfit from the Break in the Cell Game saga, and King Kai and Bubbles. I think it would have been cool if they would have made a triple pack with him, Bubbles, and Gregory, but whatever. All I know is that there's also another wave coming. We'll actually talk about that a little bit later, and it makes me even more excited for what's coming down the pike in the world of Dragon Ball. I love the fact that we have plenty of Dragon Ball Z pops, although between you and me, it's nice to see those and Dragon Ball Super, but I think we could use some Dragon Ball and maybe even some Dragon Ball GT because they're just as relevant. And the line that made Twitter explode is Avatar: The Last Airbender. They're already out. These do look wonderful. They make me want to watch the show. I never saw this show, but there are so many things, including chases and specials from Hot Topic specifically, and the Funko Shop. So Avatar, everybody, is happening. They're already out. Go and get them if you want them, because I gotta admit, they look wonderful. And they're really working on Betty Boop as well. They got so many versions of her, and here are 3 more, including Sock Hop Betty Boop, Devil Betty Boop, and Angel Betty Boop. And they're also expanding Smallfoot, a movie I still haven't seen, and the character is Guanji. I will let you know if I ever actually decide to see this movie. Some people have said it was good, some said not so great, but it is nice to see that there is another pop coming. It does actually look pretty cute. And, oh boy, Pushins. I don't really know the deal with Pushins, but I know there are so many people that love Pushins, and apparently they can't get any more cuter. They're becoming pops now, and it's just not Pushin without exclusives. And you can get them from the Funko Shop, Hot Topic, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million. And then we've got the Cartoon Network show We Bare Bears. I really don't know what this show is about. All I know is that it's 3 bears that actually walk around stacked on top of each other, and you can get all 3 of them very, very soon. And of course, we've got a big movie coming in February. It is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, and we've got awesome stuff. I love these pops. I don't want to get them, though, because I just don't think they can get them right unless you actually give them their pupils in their eyes. Toothless is adorable, but if he doesn't have those black pupils, you just lose all the adorableness. But you can get Toothless, the Light Fury, and I'm not sure if this is 2 of them or if they changed them, but I'm assuming that you can get a glitter Funko Shop exclusive Light Fury, as well as a Diamond Edition Hot Topic exclusive of the Light Fury as well. Not to mention a 10-inch Target exclusive of Toothless. And now we've got a couple that I really have no interest in. The Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet line starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. You can also get a chase of him, and you can also get a double pack of the both of them from Target. And another line that I'm not interested in, but congratulations, Funko! Your 700th pop in the movie line has been made, and it is Zoolander. I am one of the few people out there that really doesn't care for this movie, but you can get Derek Zoolander, Hansel, of course, played by Ben Stiller, and Owen Wilson. You can also get Mugatu, who is played by Will Ferrell, or if you really want to try, you can get a chase of Mugatu of him with his dog. And to fit into the realm of Jabba's skiff with the Smuggler's Bounty Box, we also got some new Star Wars line editions, and it is a series that was featured in Return of the Jedi, a brand new Han Solo, as well as Princess Leia and Lando, Emperor Palpatine, and Darth Vader getting electrocuted, as well as Wicket T. Warwick. So, when it comes to Star Wars, these do look great. It's always nice to go back to the original trilogy, but of course we can't have Star Wars without exclusives now, can we? And boy, do we have some interesting exclusives, all available at Target. You can have a glow-in-the-dark Darth Vader getting electrocuted, a baby Nippet, or aka Baby Ewok, who is also flocked, as well as a 10-inch Wicket, all available at Target. Not interested, but I have a feeling that there is going to be a 10-inch pop somewhere in my future. It's just a matter of what it will be. But one line that I'm really excited about is the new wave of Toy Story. Of course, to celebrate Toy Story 4, these don't feature anything from Toy Story 4, but there's definitely great ones to be had. We have Wheezy, we have Slinky, Bo Peep, Bullseye, which includes a flocked version of Bullseye available at the Funko Shop, as well as an awesome pop ride of Woody on RC. Part of me sort of wants to get it, but I'm not going to, but there is one in this group that I am getting, and it's the one I didn't mention, because I'm gonna let Buzz Lightyear say it himself.
Don't you get it? You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit.
Yes, I have to get myself Mrs. Nesbit. I don't have many Toy Story Pops except for the Army Man, which was the Emerald City Comic Con exclusive, but Mrs. Nesbit is just such a great part of Toy Story, and I love the fact that it comes with the arm, separated from the body, holding the little teapot. I just cannot wait to get this one. It looks so funny. So now let's take a look at what's coming thanks to London Toy Fair. So many great things were announced that's coming down the pike from Pop, including brand new lines, which are available everywhere, as well as some awesome exclusives. We're gonna first start off with the celebration of the 80th anniversary of Batman. You already saw the Hot Topic exclusive of the Green Lantern Batman, but it also includes Owlman, which is his evil counterpart in another world, which is pretty awesome. But we're gonna be seeing a celebration for Batman in all different directions. We've got the first appearance of Batman. We've got Batman in his Batmobile from the 1950s and 60s. If you're an Adam West fan, you've got Batman and Robin ready to pounce on the rooftop. But hold the phone, because the one Batman that people have been waiting for is finally coming, and it is the Tim Burton version of Batman. Of course, this one is played by Michael Keaton. You get the regular Batman on his own, or you can get a movie moment of the Michael Keaton Batman beating up the Jack Nicholson Joker. Such a great looking pop, movie moment. I am not interested in getting any of these, but it is really nice to see Batman being celebrated. I'm just a little upset that Superman didn't get as big of a celebration. But we're gonna move on to a couple of additional things. We've got a new series of UFC fighters, including a brand new remastered version of Conor McGregor, so if you've been collecting those, I'm sure you're excited for these. We've got an expansion to the football line, which includes some members of the Paris team, as well as new members of Manchester United, Arsenal, and LFC. So if you've been collecting these, I'm pretty sure you're excited for some new ones. Agritsuko, who happens to be made by Sanrio, the company that makes Hello Kitty. I don't know what this is, but my friend over at The Bookish Porcupine told me a little bit about this character, or characters. There's also going to be some Target exclusives, including a 10-inch size pop. So these are really interesting. I'd like to learn a little bit more, because Sanrio is popular amongst many. And we've got another interesting thing, which is called Persona 5. I don't know if this is a video game, a comic book, an anime. Please help me out here, but it looks like there will be a chase included in this brand new grouping of pops. And we've got a very interesting one. We've got Warhammer 40,000. So we already had Magic the Gathering way back when. This is another game series like Magic that people have been playing for a very long time. So the fact that Funko is going to be paying tribute to this little thing is pretty damn impressive. We've also got more Overwatch pops coming. We already did see the Blizzard exclusive, but we've got some more regular ones that you'll be able to get, and the details on these do look pretty impressive as well. I love the big mecha with the little hamster. Let me know what that is, because that is definitely one of the funniest things that I've ever seen. And we've also got a new group from Gears of War, so if you've been collecting Gears of War, there's going to be more coming on the way. Music fans, now, Billy Idol is one thing. Morrissey is another. So Morrissey fans, Smiths fans, you're definitely going to be excited for this one. I can tell. Very impressed that Funko is going with Morrissey. And an addition to the director's line to go with Guillermo del Toro, Alfred Hitchcock, Taika Waititi, what have you, we're getting J.J. Abrams. I'm actually not surprised. I'm sure he's going to be very popular, and I'm pretty sure people are going to want to get their hands on him. And we've got some SpongeBob SquarePants ones coming out. It has been a while since we've gotten some, and especially since the creator of the show recently passed away. This is an excellent tribute, especially the one of him making the rainbow. But you can get a new Patrick and Squidward, a Hot Topic exclusive of SpongeBob, and from Target, a 10-inch pop. That really does SpongeBob SquarePants some justice. And a line that a lot of people I know are very excited for is from the classic TV show Bewitched. People are now saying that I Dream of Jeannie is not too far behind, but it looks like we will be getting some really good-looking ones from this line. So I'm not going to get them, but I'm sure there are going to be plenty that do want these. Scooby-Doo is going to be getting an expansion. We've got a couple of other famous monsters from the show, as well as Scooby and Shaggy having a little snack. No surprise there. Love the way they look. But here is that additional Dragon Ball Z wave I've been telling you about, and it looks like we're going to be going back to some of the older sagas. Now, granted, we've got a AAA exclusive Gotenks, Super Saiyan, of course, and we've also got a regular Goten when he was first introduced, as well as a Super Saiyan Goten and a Galaxy Toys exclusive of Super Saiyan Broly. But take a look at some of the other ones. We've got a brand new Goku, we've got a brand new Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga, we've got a GameStop exclusive of Gohan with the sword, we've even got a new Frieza, we've got Kid Buu, we've got Raditz and Nappa, and Chi-Chi! Oh, I am so excited that they're making Chi-Chi. I actually want to get her and add her to my collection, and I'm still on the fence about Nappa, but I definitely want to get Raditz, because outside of Bardock, I will have the entire clan of Goku's family, even the one that doesn't really like him too much. So I am just really happy that they keep on making some of these, and that means there's still so many more characters to go, but God, that Chi-Chi pop just looks like so much fun. Like, I can see her screaming at me to do my homework right now. And we've got an expansion to Disney. We've got a whole new wave of Little Mermaid, including Scuttle the Seagull, of course, voiced by Buddy Hackett. That's one of the pops that I'm also very much on the fence on. I would love to get him because I love Buddy Hackett, but you've got a new Ariel, you've got two versions of Ursula, Eric on his own finally, and even Chef Louie. That is pretty awesome, and he's even holding Sebastian, who's hiding from him. Very, very cute. And Lord of the Rings fans, we've got the Wraiths on Wings. This is a pretty awesome looking pop. I am not going to get this ride, but people who I know who are huge Lord of the Rings fans, particularly my friend Emily over at Emily Boone, I know for a solid fact that she is excited for this one. And also Game of Thrones fans. Oh boy, they're really trying to keep us in suspense here. People are wondering who is going to be sitting on the Iron Throne at the end of this series, because alongside the White Walker on an undead horse, we have Cersei, Daenerys, Tyrion, Jon Snow, and the Night King all sitting on the Iron Throne. The real question is, which one of them will be sitting on the Iron Throne at the end of the series, and who will still be alive? And the last series that I have to talk about is based on one of my favorite movies, and no surprise that it's happening now because this movie is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, but it is the Office Space line. I love this movie so much. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and we've got Peter, we've got Jennifer Aniston's character, we've even got Milton, but the one pop in this set that I must have is Bill Lumbergh, because I am such a Gary Cole fan, and the details on this pop look incredible. The suspenders, the multicolors on the shirt, the fact that he's holding the Intech mug, you can even see his class ring on his fist, as well as his pass. I love the look of that specific pop. I cannot wait to have Bill Lumbergh. Wow, that was a great deal to talk about. I got so caught up in the moment, I almost completely forgot to film my outro. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. It was a pleasure to talk Funko Pops with you, especially going into the new year of 2019. I would love to see your comments in the box below. Let me know which one of these lines you're interested in, and are there any specific lines that you're still waiting for? But in the meantime, guys, as always, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.